Isekai now gives tons of free credits to new users and gives unlimited isekai adventures for paid users. Check it out at isekaigen.com. I always talk about romance anime series, but what about the movies you can watch while sitting on a couch and eating some popcorn? So here are 10 romance anime movies that you must watch. Let's go. Imagine a universe where parallel worlds aren't just made up stuff, they actually mix with everyday life. So everyday people from parallel worlds appear in our world. Koyomi Takasaki is a shy prep school kid dealing with his parents' divorce and trying to find his place. Then, out of nowhere, Kazuni Takegawa shows up and says she's from the 85th parallel world and says they're supposed to be in love.
Takegawa-san?
そこで友達なんだ。
I usually watch these new movies with zero expectations, but somehow this actually surprised me. The trio Koyomi, Kazune, and Shiori have this complicated chemistry, which is pretty much what gripped me through this entire show. If you like parallel world stories mixed with deep romance, this series hits the spot. It's like if Steins Gate and Your Name had a baby, but with a much shorter runtime.
メールもいっぱいする。だから。 たまには帰ってきてね。
Come on, if you're one of those oldies goldies people, then you know Sailor Moon. This time, the Sailor Guardians face off against a tough villain team made of Sailor Iron Mouse, Sailor Aluminum Siren, Sailor Lead Crow, and Sailor Tin Nyanko. This final battle ends the big star story, with even some quiet characters getting the time to shine. Watching Sailor Moon Cosmos feels like the reboot has finally found its spark. The way scenes are shot and lit makes fights and emotional parts feel exciting and new. The animation is colorful and lively, and the throwbacks to the 90s show remind longtime fans why they loved this series in the first place. It isn't perfect, some parts are a bit rough, but overall, it's the version of Sailor Moon fans have been waiting for.
なんで？ずいぶん生意気な口を聞くようになったじゃない。
Time for some sports romance movie. 14-year-old Nozomi Onda is all about playing soccer. Official games only. Problem? She's trying to join the boys' team where being smaller makes it tough. When a kid from her past shows up, Nozomi decides to stop waiting and just go for it. The movie takes us back to her middle school days, showing how determined she is to play the sport she loves, no matter what gets in her way.
止められるもんなら止めてみろ。
止めるさ。
私から目離すなよな。
What's cool about this movie is how it handles the boys vs girls soccer match. There's no crazy magic or crazy moves, just Nozomi using her smarts and skills to prove she belongs. I'm also surprised how they did a sports anime with a female lead really well, because she feels like a real player who earns her spot and not some regular stereotype. Plus, the mix of regular and cool CG animation makes the game super exciting, so you feel like you're right there on the field.
さっきから何聞いてるんですか？
いや、大きい音昔から苦手で、実は何も聞いてなくて。
Yui Sakura is a haiku poet who's way better at writing on a screen than talking to people. He spends his summer working at a welfare center before his family moves away. On the other side, we got Yuki Hoshino, a rising influencer who hides her smile behind a mask because she's self-conscious about her braces. They end up working the same part-time job. Together, they help an older man named Fujiyama find a vinyl record he wants to listen to one last time before his memory fades.
花火一緒に見に行こう。
What makes this movie stand out is because it's way more relatable to a modern-day audience. Everyone tries to find perfection in social media, but sometimes our imperfections are what makes us more human. Yes, the characters don't have crazy problems, but the normal stuff like feeling unsure about themselves is what makes this movie worth watching. If you like easygoing romantic comedies with music and everyday moments, Words That Bubble Up Like Soda is a fun movie that hits just the right tone.
風太郎、5つ子ゲームファイナルだよ。愛があれば 見分けられるよね。
Hey, you can't forget the ending of the world's most famous harem anime, after High School DxD, of course. Futaro Usugi finishes up as the tutor for the wild Nakano quintuplets, and their grades are finally getting better. But it's not just study time. Things get complicated when the girls push him to pick one of them as his crush before the school festival ends. With all five giving their best shot, Futaro has to figure out what matters most: friendship, family, or love.
誰も選ばない。それが俺の答えだ。
The manga ending was mixed, but just like every manga with a controversial ending, the anime manages to balance some things out and make it more memorable. It balances funny moments with really touching scenes just right. The way the sisters stick together hits harder because you can see how they've changed naturally without the extra stuff forced in. As the wedding scene, where Futaro tries to guess who's who, that's hilarious. If you follow the series, this movie is a wild ride that's totally worth it, even if your favorite girl doesn't win.
遠野くん、
何？
私と手を組まない？
え？
私も欲しいものがあるの。遠野くんにも欲しいものがある。
Karo Tono's life is a total wreck. Family fights, loss, and zero peace at home. After a huge argument with his dad, Kotaro ends up in a strange tunnel that's rumored to grant wishes, but it steals time from your life. Weird stuff happens, time shifts, a lost pet bird shows up again, and Karo thinks maybe he could fix everything by going back in. Then there's Anzu Hanashiro, a new student who has her own reasons for exploring the tunnel. Together, they learned that getting what you want always comes with a tough price.
私は遠野くんのいる世界に行きたい。だからあのトンネルが必要なの。
Come on, I'm a sucker for time travel anime. Watching Tunnel this summer hooked me right away because it packs a lot of feelings into a densely packed time travel movie. The tunnel's trippy design blew my mind, and the movie sneaks some nice and wholesome messages without hitting you over the head. It speeds up at the end, so pay attention or you'll miss the coolest moments, but it's a nice romance movie mixed in with some good mystery.
舞さん。
おじさん、誰？
これって前に夢で見た。
The Rascal series came a long way, and till the last movie comes along, this is gonna be my favorite. Things kick off when Sakura Azusagawa is hanging out at the beach, waiting for Mai Sakurajima on her graduation day, when suddenly, a younger version of Mai from her child acting days shows up out of nowhere. But just as quickly as she appears, the younger Mai disappears when the actual Mai arrives. At the same time, Sakura spots a weird scar on his body and thinks puberty syndrome is kicking up back again.
それでどうなの？
僕としては今の舞さんの方が断然可愛いと思ってます。
それは知ってる。
What makes all the Rascal series and movies stand out isn't just the supernatural stuff. It's the deeper real-life problems. Mai isn't just ignoring Sakura because she's busy, she's actually stuck with a crazy job at Japan's tough entertainment world, which explains why she isn't always around. Sakura's fights aren't just about monsters, they're about dealing with stress, commitments, and the good old real-life problems.
次こそ。
じゃあ次はチョキで勝ったらキスするルールにしようか。
Takagi and Nishikata are finishing up their last summer before high school with one final fun adventure. They find an abandoned kitten and team up to take care of it while trying to find its missing mother. As always, Takagi's teasing and Nishikata is shy and falling for it, but little by little, like always, love starts to blossom between them.
それがどうしたの？
一緒に見たいなーって。
I always loved how wholesome the Takagi-san series was, and this was the perfect conclusion for such an amazing series. The animation looks smooth and has lots of cool details, but it doesn't distract from the characters having fun, which is like the whole point of the movie. The movie mixes cute and emotional parts just right, and also some little emotional moments too. If you love the Takagi-san series, you're going to love this one too.
ほんとむちゃくちゃよね。でも顔を赤くして言う会長がお可愛くて。思わず OK しちゃって。 思わずキスしちゃって。
After their first kiss, Kaguya Shinomita and Miyuki Shirogane get stuck in that weird now what moment. Neither of them wants to say how they really feel, so they start this new game of trying to figure out if they're actually dating. Then Christmas comes around, making everything feel cozier and way more complicated, pushing them to face what's going on inside and maybe finally take their relationship a step further.
会長、おはよ
いや最高かもしれん。
う。なん
なんだこの可愛い生命は。
This movie does a great job switching from funny moments to serious romance without rushing it. That's the formula this series has perfected, and it's what it uses. You can see why Kaguya and Shirogane hide their flaws. It's not just to protect each other, but because they're scared to face those parts of themselves. It's cool to watch a love story where being imperfect and learning to accept what is the main focus. And the whole getting stuck in their heads part added a nice little spin to the whole movie.
そうですね。眉なしさん。
気安く触んないで。
はい、すいません。
Come on, you know this is gonna be one of my favorite movies. This time, we visit the infamous bike gang mommy, Koyoko Honda. She didn't have an easy life. She used to feel totally lost and alone, acting out and pushing everyone away. She was close to giving up on her future. Then Katsuya showed up, a calm and patient intern who saw beyond her tough attitude to the scared girl underneath. As they got to know each other, Koyoko started to open up and heal, finding hope and love she never thought possible.
寂しいんですか。じゃあ抜け出しましょう。
This is more like a recap and an original story at the same time, but something that balances emotional moments with some really, really wholesome moments. What's cool is how this film shows Koyoko's story without going over the top. We always see her in Toru's memories, but this time she gets thrown into the spotlight. You see her feelings in a way that's messy and honest, while Katsuya stays steady and supportive. The story moves along just at the right speed, and the flashbacks, especially the funny stuff with Toru, makes this one of the best romance anime movies I've watched.